The movie 50 Shades of Grey is out, and it's so damn sexy it's causing some reporters to immediately get emphysema.
That was a scene from the hottest movie out right now.
I think I'm having a stroke. I've not read the book 50 Shades of Grey, I've not seen the film 50 Shades of Grey, but it must be a global phenomenon because Fox News' Judge Janine is taking some time out from warmongering to trivialise sex.
Would you try bondage? Do you went to bondage? You went to bondage? Would you do bondage if she wanted you to from 50 Shades?
She normally practices sadomasochism on a more global level.
Bomb them. Bomb them. Keep bombing them.
I suppose what her two fields of expertise have in common is they're both about violently extracting fluid resources without permission.
The much-hyped 50 Shades of Grey had an impressive opening, banking $94 million domestically and $172 million internationally over the 4-day holiday weekend.
With both 50 Shades of Grey and American Sniper, they're purely judged, obviously, on the basis of how much money they accrue. Artistic merit or the value of the content, whether or not, in both cases there are positive things about those films, that's not the issue. It's that these are capitalist products for capitalist times.
The movie also inspired merchandising ties.
Target is carrying a line of 50 Shades of Grey themed adult items. There is a makeup line at Sephora.
I mean, it becomes pretty clear that what this is a fucking about commodification of an idea. There's this product, there's that product, there's this, there's that.
There's a 50 Shades of Grey Vermont teddy bear. There's wines. There's a lot of different themed items.
The reason I'm interested in the phenomena of 50 Shades of Grey is whether or not it's porn from a female perspective, it is still the commodification and mainstreaming of softcore porn. What does softcore porn do to us? And what does porn in general do to both men and women and the way we relate to each other, or the way that all adults relate to each other?
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Enlighten me then.
I suppose the undercurrent of this is, right, sex is something we're all interested in because of biological programming, but our attitudes towards sex have become warped and perverted and have deviated from its true function as an expression of love and a means for procreation, because our acculturation, the way we have designed it and expressed it, has become really, really confused.
I don't know if I can be with him the way he needs me to.
I know if I'm haunting you, you must be haunting me.
I heard a quote from a priest that said, pornography is not a problem because it shows us too much, it's a problem because it shows us too little. I don't think what that priest meant is he would like to see more gynecological and more sort of filthy shots of things. I think what he was saying is that pornography reduces the spectacle of sex to a kind of extracted physical act. There's a lot of statistics here that we've got about pornography. The Journal of Adolescent Health talk about the effects of prolonged exposure to porn, including an exaggerated perception of sexual activity in society, yeah, I think that a bit, diminished trust between intimate couples, I get that sometimes, the abandonment of hope of sexual monogamy, sometimes I wonder if it's possible, the belief that promiscuity is the natural state. I don't want to have that belief, because I was obsessed with porn when I was a teenager, and it was nostalgic mad stuff that makes me sound old now. We had to find magazines places and steal things from under beds. So living in this culture now where there's just icebergs of filth floating through every house on Wi-Fi, it's inconceivable what it must be like to be a young adolescent boy now with this kind of access to porn. It must be dizzying and exciting, but corrupting in a way that we can't even think about. In fact, Jill Manning, the sociologist, says the upper limits of the impact of this amount of porn have yet to be fully realised because these people haven't reached sexual maturity. But I think my own relationship with pornography is kind of the hub of my feelings of inner conflict and doubt. I know that pornography is wrong, that I shouldn't be looking at it, that lots of people that are working in it are doing so because of the wrong reasons, desperation, self-doubts. I'm sure there's loads of people that work in porn that go, hey, I love it, but there's a general feeling, isn't there, in your core if you look at pornography that this isn't what's the best thing for me to doing, this isn't the best use of my time now. I don't put that laptop lid down and think, there! What a productive piece of time spent connecting with the world.
And the storyline may be onto something. In fact, a new study says the more dominant one partner is,
the happier the couple.
I feel like if I had total dominion over myself, I would never look at pornography again, one day at a time. I'd kick it out of my life. And one of the reasons that I've sensed that pornography isn't good for me as an individual is because of this, the kind of conclusions reached by Gary R. Brooks, who's observed the consumption of softcore pornography like Playboy. He talked about the 5 main symptoms of looking at softcore porn. But softcore porn really is everywhere. 50 Shades of Grey is softcore porn. TV adverts, billboards are full of softcore porn, and here are some of the effects of this, the symbolism of this culture. Voyeurism, an obsession with looking at women rather than interacting with them. I do that sometimes. I just think, that woman looks beautiful. I don't think, oh, I hope she gets on well with her dad. I hope she doesn't have diabetes. What's she like as a soul, as another person here in infinite space? I just think, oh, she looks nice. Objectification, an attitude in which women are objects rated by size, shape, harmony of body parts. Guilty of that all of the time because, you know, I've been acculturated and trained to. This is something that I work on, like, no, come on, see everybody as equal human beings. But once that biological drive to procreate is connected with a culture of objectification, that's a very hard equation to break. Validation, the need to validate masculinity through beautiful women. This is something that I've suffered from terribly. Trophyism, the idea that beautiful women are collectibles who show the world what a man is. Oh no, I've done that before. Fear of true intimacy, inability to relate to women in an honest and intimate way despite deep loneliness. Oh God! Pornography exalts man's sexual need over his need for sensuality and intimacy. I think because I've been exposed to such a lot of pornography from such a young age, it's clear that those phenomena, I personally relate to them. You know, sometimes you read information, go, nah, that's a lot of codswallop. Me, pornography is not something I like. It's something that I haven't been able to make a long-term commitment to not looking at, and it's affecting my ability to relate to women, to relate to myself, my own sexuality, my own spirituality. So a film like 50 Shades of Grey, even if it's from a female perspective, hey, it's only a problem when we have women's porn, yeah? Men's porn's no problem. No, men's porn's a problem as well. Pornography, it's like trying to solve the problem of racism by inventing a word for black people to call white people that's equally as bad as the N-word. Well, the direction we should be going in is how can we understand our sexuality? How can we express it lovingly in harmony with the principles that it's there to demonstrate procreation and sensual love between consenting adults. The sort of cloud of pornographic information and even soft cultural smog like 50 Shades of Grey and dumb adverts for lollipops and stuff is making it impossible for us to relate to our own sexuality, our own psychology and our own spirituality, because this powerful primal resource, whenever it's plugged in, it's jarring and distracting. I think what it is the circuit in the mind that's connected to sexuality moves very, very quickly. The circuit in the mind that's connected to love and compassion is a little bit slower. So if you're constantly bombarded with great waves of filth, it's really difficult to remain connected to truth. So I suppose what we can do is go and see 50 Shades of Grey or look at pornography, do what you've got to do, but try to have an idea of what you want from loving relationships and what you want from sexuality. Do have a lovely weekend. I'm gonna just shut this laptop now before it causes me any more problems. So that's some true news. Subscribe here.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.